Everybody likes to talk about their own car. Ready?
You want me to follow you around or what?
No, we'll do it live. I'll write it, you shoot it. We'll do it live. What's up guys? Larry Chen here. Welcome to my channel. We are at Circuit of the Americas, COTA in Austin, Texas for Super Lap Battle. This is not a Super Lap Battle vehicle, but that's okay. This is so exciting. I really like this car so much. When I pulled up this morning, I saw this. I was floored. I was blown away. But this is built by John Clayton, right?
Yeah.
Where are you from and how did this become this awesome thing?
So I'm originally from Arizona, born in Phoenix, and I was raised in Prescott. I bought this in 2006. It was actually New Year's Day. Bought it from individual in Mission Viejo, California. Drove over there with my grandfather, picked it up. It did not look like this, obviously. It was pretty rough. The transmission input shaft seal was leaking onto the clutch. So it ran, but it would barely move.
There's just so much I want to ask about. 2 days ago, I was with Ryan Turk with his ST205.
Yeah.
And that's a right-hand drive WRC edition, I guess one out of 2,500.
Yeah.
But this is generation before that,
Yeah.
right?
So this is a ST185. There's one before this one, that's ST165. And then Ryan's is a 205. States never got that one. States did get the two earlier ones. This is a US car, but I have the JDM front end on it. The hood and the front bumper are from what's called the Carlos Sainz GT4 RC. That's like, it was a limited production run, but States never got that one either. The weird thing about this car is that the US market is really the only one that's rare. Everywhere else it's a production car. So this year is one of like 470 for the year. 1450 over 3 years. 93 was 81 of them.
Okay, so you're like the guy. You're like the Celica GT4 guy.
Coming up on 15 years with this thing, so.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
you develop parts for it too? We can get into that a little bit later. I can see you're kind of obsessed with this car.
A little bit, yeah.
What does your first wife think about it?
She might be a little, not jealous, but I got a little feud going on sometimes. This one's a little bit more expensive if I,
A lot of crazy things. Let's start on the outside. The paint is really nice.
Yeah.
Is it original paint?
It's not original paint. I painted this in 2009. It is the factory color, which is 3E5 red, but I did put a couple grams of pearl in the first coat of clear. So in the sun, it pops. It doesn't really pick up in the shadows, but.
Oh my God, look at Lewis. Hi. This is definitely a
that's
JDM thing, right?
Yeah, that's the Japanese spec emblem. So Celica Dragon.
It is a dragon. Yeah. So cool. What other JDM bits are on here?
Side markers are JDM. The corner marks are JDM.
Oh, this.
Yeah, and then the vented tail is a JDM, and then this little border here. Mm-hmm. That's like I don't know, what is it, Koki? That's the revised.
Right. It's interesting because, as you said, this is the most rare version of this car.
It is.
And then you've
put all the non-rare stuff on it. Yeah. This front end is way more functional than the US spec.
Why is that? Tell us about that.
A lot more air. It's essentially a V-mount. So air goes in, goes through my coolers, and it goes out the hood.
It's funny, Ryan was telling me a couple things about like this stuff here, but of course he's new to the vehicle, right? There's just so much to learn on that front since he's just starting to build that. Can we take a look under the hood?
Yeah. I don't know if Ryan told you, that's for a timing belt.
Yes, he did, but why?
The rally cars had issues melting their timing belts. It's a non-interference motor. But, I mean, if you snap a timing belt on the course, you're done.
Right.
And their issue was thermal. So they gave it a little snorkel and fed it some air.
What a crude way to cool it down.
It's
like, forget about inventing something else or whatever. Let's just cut a hole in the hood and route air to it. And also on top of that, what I noticed on the ST205 is a cooler for the alternator.
So The 185s had that as well. Mine just isn't on there.
All right, so what are we looking at right here?
The car came factory with a Gen 2 3S GTE, kind of like an archaic version of the engine. This is a Gen 4. So this is actually from a 2003 Toyota Caldina.
Okay.
Same engine, 3S GTE, but it's one of the newer variants. So it comes with coil unplugged, much better ECU, much better plenum design. Just a new engine. The car's got an OBD2 port now.
That is like the MR2?
Yeah, that's the MR2 Eagle. Got to pay homage to the 3S family.
Right, okay, okay. You imported this from Japan then?
No. Well, the engine, yes.
The engine?
The engine, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
and
right.
then there's a guy, Wire Gap. He's big in the MR2 guys and Celicas, obviously. He makes a wire harness for $500 and it's plug and play.
So you're not worried about the timing belt here overheating?
No, I haven't. The street cars don't have a real issue with it. I mean, you're really gonna have to be beaten on it.
Correct me if I'm wrong. These vehicles were built by Toyota, the Homologation-special.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to go rallying.
Yeah.
And the modern version of that is the GR Yaris, right? And there's just
Don't bring it up, man.
so much of that car that the only reason why that car exists and the only reason why certain things are the way they are is for the rally car. For example, like what Ryan explained to me on the ST205 is that there's the anti-lag that's built in, but not hooked up.
Yeah, they did have, the 205 had the air ports, so you could, if you have the ECU capabilities and an air pump, you can direct air into the manifold, retard your timing, play with the tune, and yeah, you could do active anti-lag.
And so much of this too, this was built just for homologation reasons to go to rally.
I mean, just like the GR Yaris now, it was a race car that they sold to the public. It's funny too, because I forget who I watched, but I watched a disassembly video of the GR Yaris. It's a revised version of this.
Yeah.
I mean, all new, obviously they're using aluminum, newer production methods, but...
And even down to like the way the body is, the back, how essentially it's unusable as a passenger space in the back because it slopes down for aero purposes.
This did come with a back seat also. It was a joke of a back seat. I mean, it was really just sound deadening.
Yeah.
That's all it really was.
Tell us about the motor. Is it built at all, or
is it? Not. It is a unopened Gen 4, low mileage swap. I did all the basic stuff, timing belt, water pump, all the seals. Stock ECU. The stock ECU on the Gen 4 is good up to about 18 pounds of boost. Walker Pro Motorsports, that's local here in Austin, did the manifold to a G30 660. It's got a Elmer Racing billet collector, V-band.
This is so pretty looking.
Yeah,
like,
he did it.
It's done so well.
Russell is a magician with the spicy tubes. He's
spicy tubes.
He's good, man.
How much power is it making in this configuration?
So with the stock turbo, it did like 220 and 240 torque. This one, it pulls a lot harder. I haven't dynoed it. I don't really have a need to yet. 15 pounds, I would guess, is probably 260, 280 area. So it's not a powerhouse by any means.
But that's not the point for this era of rally.
This thing changes direction real quick.
Yeah,
that's what it's for.
It is, you could do center axis donuts if you wanted to.
You could.
And also on top of that, it's just about the endurance.
Yeah. Being
out there, high revving, just all the way foot to the floor when you're going through.
I run it here regularly.
Like on back
COTA?
roads?
No, COTA.
Oh, at COTA. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, this track.
On here. Yeah. I'm a regular here. I
Got
have a cot set up in garage 18.
Nice. In terms of cooling, upgraded radiator.
So Russell, we put the turbo forward and as low as possible. So then we put the radiator under the core support. So Russell did all of the fab work on the radiator as well. It's got a Treadstone, I think it's a TR800 something intercooler core. It's so efficient that on cold days like today, this is my operating.
What was this, a 12 or 24 pack of Busch Light or something?
Yeah,
what was that?
The Natty Light, man.
Oh, Natty Ice?
No, but it actually falls, when it's cold, it falls out of operating temperature.
Interesting.
So I have to block half of it.
Oh. This is just so cool. I love it so much. Can you tell me about the wheel and tire package here and the brakes?
So I don't have a ton of options on brakes. So that's a K-Sport big brake kit. I am from Arizona, so I was supporting local when I bought that. They've been great though. They work real well. Car stops on a dime, which is real good for COTA. I pretty much developed this thing to run around COTA.
I could tell you brake pretty hard.
Yeah,
in this thing, dude.
I actually just had a blowout. All this damage right here is new. I separated a slick like 2 weekends ago on COTA, and it
Jeez.
all the way from 2009 to that first damage right there. But
So have you done anything to the transmission or the center
transmission
diffs?
is stock.
or-
It's rebuilt, new synchros, resealed, bone stock.
And what about the 3 diffs?
So this is a viscous coupler. It only has a front diff, center viscous, and then a rear differential, all stock. I actually need to upgrade. These came open diff in the rear, and now on track it makes enough power to where I'm just roasting the inside tire around the carousel. But yeah, gutted. Russell did the cage work as well.
Yeah, it's very
and
nice.
you can fold that seat forward if you want.
Oh, it looks great. I can see it from
Yeah,
here.
it's welded in. It's not a bolt in. So eventually I might go forward, do a halo, and go full cage with it. But we'll see. See what the first wife allows.
Tell me about the interior. There's something really special going on here.
Yeah, so that's a S2000, AP1 S2000 cluster. It's fully functional. Found both wiring diagrams for each car. Let's go pin to pin. The only thing that's special is the speedometer. I'm actually using a motorcycle part. So this is a street bike part for guys that when they change their sprockets, it corrects their speedo.
No way.
So I'm grabbing...
Speedo healer?
Yeah. So I'm grabbing my axle bolts, which have 6 bolts per axle, and I set a Hall effect sensor to read them, and I can assign a value to each bolt, and then I feed the cluster what it wants to see to be accurate.
Huh.
Yeah.
And you can tune it depending on the tire.
Yeah, so if I change rotational, my rotate diameter, I can adjust it. But yeah, it's fully
And it
functional.
displays perfect here.
Yeah. It all check engine lights, the door ajar, everything, fuel. The only thing that doesn't work, I didn't bother with temperature because I've got a standalone down there.
Got it.
Flock the dashboard, flock the A-pillars. OMP wheel with a works bell hub.
I love this old school HKS turbo timer.
Yeah,
Is
that
it
thing's
just not
dead.
plugged in?
It's dead. I don't know what happened. I mean, it's ancient, but I still love it, so I just leave it in there.
What is that?
That's my hazard button with the little HKS boost controller thing stuck on it. I've had this car for a long time, man, so it's been through many versions.
And it actually has a plaque.
That's a repop too. It's just a gel sticker that some guy was making. But that is the plaque for what my hood and front bumper come off of.
I'm just so blown away at this. Like,
Yeah.
why did you do that versus just keeping the stock dash?
So the stock dash has it's a cable-driven speedometer, and there's a nylon gear that drives the cable on the front diff, and my transmission actually ate it, so I was at the point of needing a speedometer, and then I saw some guys swapping these, so I decided to do it. I love how it fits the dash. I mean, it looks like
It looks so right.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, not that you need to look at it, but what about the red line? How does it fit?
It does not rev to 9. I rev to about 75, so I just, I have that in my mind.
Got it. Huh.
I wish it revved to 9. We're gonna have to get Tony on board to build me a 9K motor. My seat's fixed. It's not on a slider or anything. Again, I do drive this regularly, so it's all in spec. Groth 6 points and then a Sawbelt Taurus XL. Because I still street drive it too, so I put a little memory foam cushion behind me, and this thing is comfortable.
Does any of the heat or anything work?
I still have heat. I don't have AC.
You don't need AC for a track car.
No, you don't need AC in Texas.
This is so cool. Just so much about it. I absolutely love Did you have to redo all this stuff too?
That's just so I have cleaned up the door panels a little bit. The trim is gloss black. I painted those. The mirrors are a TTE replica. There's a guy over in the UK. His name's Werner Lewis. He's actually still competing in rally with one of these. So he makes some parts that he sells.
Nice.
Got Walker's sign. Art of Assembly up in Dallas helps me quite a bit with the engine stuff.
What a clean build. It's so simple, and I just
Russell,
love it so much.
Russell did the full exhaust too. It's not full titanium, but it just titanium turned down. It's got a carbon drive shaft, which is super rare. The guys that there was like a run of 25 made, and because there's not a lot of support for this car.
Yeah, it's too bad because it's so cool. There's just so much about it that I love. The pop-up headlights are amazing.
Yeah.
Just turbo noises.
This thing makes awesome noises after Russell. I mean,
So, yeah, we got to take it out onto the street.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I have to shoot some things right now, but let's take it out on the street. You're going to be here tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I'm here tomorrow.
Maybe tomorrow, maybe during lunchtime or something, we go for a rip.
Yeah, absolutely.
That would be so cool.
I'll let you drive it.
Oh, I didn't even have to ask. But I really want to drive it. I drove Turks a little bit, but that one's 100% bone stock. It would be really, really cool. I'm looking forward to driving this one.
Yeah.
So, cut to that. Jeez, this is cool.
This thing is cool.
So on top of that, this is my first time on Circuit of the Americas.
Really?
And it's in your car.
This thing's got a ton of time on here.
Really?
Yeah.
So what's your fastest lap here?
I've got a 2:33. I wouldn't get too crazy with Marshall.
Yeah. This is crazy. This is so cool.
So this is 2. You're gonna want to set up a little bit to the right. You're gonna be entering the S's. 3 is right here. See the little orange turtle?
Right.
4 is right ahead of it.
Damn.
Entry of 5 is after it. 5 is a sweeper. And then you'll see the entry of 6.
So you're carrying some serious speed through here, huh?
You let it track out a little bit and then tuck it all the way right up against this white line over here. And then you're going to be setting up for 7. You can read the pavement. See the race line that it's cut?
Yeah.
You go straight to 8.
God, I really want to drive this track, like, properly.
You should.
Yeah.
There's a lot of events that you can get on.
Oh, there's a bunch of people behind us.
Is there?
Yeah. Should I let him by? Okay, I'll just let him
No,
by.
you'll be alright.
Yeah.
So this is 10. That's
I'll just chase them.
10 there.
just working on your line.
Yeah.
You're working on your technique.
Yeah. I'm extracted. A 33 is the best this thing is probably ever gonna do.
And like that's perfect conditions, brand new tires.
Yeah, slicks, everything. Yeah, being perfect.
And what kind of slicks are you running?
I ran a Hankook F200.
Got it. That turbo sounds so good.
She's fun.
Amazing. So cool.
So that's the exit of 18 or the big carousel.
Okay.
19's coming
So
up.
how do I get back into the pits?
Back in the pits is right after 19. Stay left and you'll see your
Got
pit
it.
lane.
Okay.
See our pit lane there?
Yeah. It just sounds so good. I can only imagine how much fun you have driving on the street with this.
Yeah, go drive
Yeah.
on the street, Larry. Because then we won't get in trouble for you getting on it.
Well, I already had enough. That was enough for me. That was a lot of fun. I really appreciate it. That was so much fun. Thank you so much for letting me experience your build. It is, I posted about it last night, and when I said it's one of the cars that I was most excited about shooting, that was completely honest, because you know I'm a car guy. I'm a Toyota guy. I love Toyotas, and I love shooting stage rally. And this
You gotta
is
get
just...
a 205, Larry. Get a 205.
So you want me to get a 205? Look, personally, I want a Mark IV really bad.
205, man. I'm telling you.
I want a Mark IV, but
Well,
you think 205 is the way to go.
205. I think you'll have much more fun time with the 205.
All right. Well, we'll see. We'll see what's even available in the world. But yeah, thank you so much again.
You're welcome.
This has been such a great experience. This is it. This is what happens. This is what happens when you park it somewhere and there's a bunch of car nerds around. Everybody's attracted to it. Get away! Get away! So there's one thing that John mentioned before we started rolling. I told him, look, 2 days ago I was driving around in Turk's ST205, and you actually make a modification for them?
Yeah, I make a lower ball joint for the front. The factory spindles are cast iron with a press-in bearing, and it's just not up to the task of what this thing's capable of. I was actually welding the bearing race to the hub, and when I would come in after a session and stop and they cooled off, they're literally frozen together. So what I did was got a Lexus CT200 upright. It's got a huge bolt-on bearing that is extremely smooth. Developed the ball joint, lower ball joint for it, and yeah, it's got a Lexus CT200 on the front now.
The CT200 is
It's
recent,
essentially
right?
a Lexus Prius. Yeah.
Right,
It
right.
goes from 2010 to 2017.
And how did you find that? It just fits. It just...
So there's actually another guy that did it first. He posted some pictures of it, and you know, I own a shop and I'm pretty mechanically inclined, so I just developed it.
That's cool. So yeah, Turk, if you want to...
Turk needs
Right.
the McPherson.
Yeah, you need it. So.
Don't put any money into that super strut.
Yeah.
You'll be bummed about it.
All right, there you go. You heard it here.